Let me show you our tree nursery area. Here we've got stock gooseberry trees that we take the stock from to grow. We grow these cuttings, many of them. Might be as many as 300 or 400 a year for gooseberries. These are These are gooseberries from Llyn Alwen by Llyn Bennig near Cerrig-y-Drudion. Then we take cuttings from those to grow about 300 or 400. We take cuttings from those josterberries, these larger ones, which is a cross between a black currant and a gooseberry. It's called a josterberry. And we also take cuttings, and we grow about 200 or 300 of those. Hazelnuts are not easy to grow, and we grow approximately 500 a year of hazelnuts. These are hazelnuts. The josterberries are from Bangor Forest Garden in Bangor. The hazelnuts are sourced from a very good old orchard tree in Ruthin, and they're very high fruiting. You get buckets, literally buckets of nuts. It's a commercial tree. So there's something like 200 there. We do about 500 a year. Going further down this stock area, we've got that black plastic mulching the ground to prepare it for growing fruit trees. There we've got 50 rootstock that were given to us sold to us at a great price by Clyde Edwig. 50 there, and I got 30 further over. Then we've got Robert Hart's red currants here that we take cuttings from. They're quite not easy to grow. Quite hard to grow, they're not easy to grow. So we take cuttings from those to grow them to increase our stock, so we've got the stock to be able to pass on to others, to supply to others. That black area there is mulching the ground for when we get into production with apple trees. Further over beyond this forest garden here, behind the beck, there's a rootstock area, and we're growing the actual rootstocks, these actual rootstocks for apples and pear trees, so that we can source those for free for ourselves. I'll just carry on. Here's Forest Garden Centre of the garden, where I'm at the moment doing some grafting. We've got volunteers coming in to help with all the propagation and the grafting. So here's some grafted apple trees that we're increasing our stock of our own varieties of our own apple and pear trees. Here's more hazelnuts. These are actually Kent cob nuts, but they're actual seeds of Kent cob nuts. So we'll find out which ones are great for this area. Whereas bringing in the clones of Kent cob nuts would mean that we're getting them from Kent, and they're not necessarily good for our area here in North Wales at 1,000 feet. What we really need is tables. This table is fantastic here. This one's great. It's just a plastic table. The mice can't get up here. When we grow nuts, we put netting over to save them from the birds. The mice can't get up here if we've got nuts, these legs. They can on these, so we don't grow nuts on these. So here we've got rootstock that I'm saving for next year. These are coming up for next year. Sedum telefium, which is an edible sedum, which is wonderful salad leaf. Black currants, they're Robert Hart's black currants from Rushbury. We're trying to source the best we can get for everybody. More apple trees that of our own apple trees that we're increasing the numbers of. Black currants. Down here there are 2 and 3 year old sweet chestnuts. What else we got? Sea buckthorn growing there, males growing there for the first time that we're doing males. Those came over from Bangor and Patelli. We got gooseberries in there, and we've got josterberries, and we've got black currants in there. I'll show you last year's sweet chestnuts, which we kept in their seed trays here. We normally bring them in the winter. So these have to come out and be transferred into other pots while we get this year's sweet chestnut seed, which has got germinated and roots, re-seeded into here for this year's 500 sweet chestnuts. So we've got a lot of sweet chestnuts, 1,000 and more with those. This area is, oh, hi Matt. All right, hang on a minute, I'm doing a little video. So this whole area going down over to there's a pond, is also, this is for mulch for manure, for nutrients for the soil. Fantastic plant. And then this is all overgrown because it has to be worked on. This is all part and parcel of the nursery.